Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
Senator Cruz, you mentioned the attacks on the campaign trail, and I have a belief that it must be so difficult to have to resist rolling around in the mud when things get very ugly. I saw a really uncomfortable exchange last night between Dr. Ben Carson and Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. And as you know, hours before the Monday caucus, your campaign evidently put out, or some representatives put out rumors that Ben Carson was planning to drop out. I think it had to do with a Congressman Steve King tweet. He tweeted that Carson looks like he's out. Iowans need to know before they vote. Most will go to Cruz, I hope. That was apparently based on, I believe, an erroneous report from CNN. But as I understand it, you've owned that stumble, and you've said, listen, the buck stops with me, and I'm sorry this happened. And I believe you reached out to Ben Carson personally, did you not?
Well, sure. That's right, Mike. And we have, from the beginning, resolved to run a high road campaign with integrity. When it comes to Ben Carson,
cell phone technology. All right, hang on, because that's a very important part, and we want to get him back. So good old cell phone technology, and he's in New Hampshire, sort of going through, I'm sure, from cell tower to cell tower, and maybe a rural area of New Hampshire. So we'll try to reconnect with Senator Cruz, because this has been a very big deal in the last 12 to 24 hours, where Ben Carson the very normally mild-mannered Ben Carson has expressed great anger at what appears to be false information that was disseminated about him dropping out of the race. He says he has no intention of dropping out of the race and no plans to do so. Let's see if we got you back. We got you back, Senator?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Good old cell phone technology. I mean, it's not like you're on the campaign trail or anything, riding around the roads of New Hampshire.
Well, we are in the campaign bus driving rural roads in New Hampshire, so I apologize.
Gotcha. No. We got you loud and clear now. So, but we didn't hear much of your answer regarding you reaching out to Ben Carson to apologize over this little kerfluffle over voting in Iowa. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, from the beginning, we resolved to run a high road campaign with integrity, and Ben is someone who has enormous principle and character. He and his wife Candy have become friends, and I really admire and respect them both. What happened that day is CNN reported that Ben was not going on to New Hampshire, was not going on to South Carolina, but instead was returning home to Florida. And when CNN reported that, our political team passed on that public news report. What the team didn't do is there was later a second story where the Carson campaign put out a statement saying they were not suspending the campaign. And our political team did not forward that second statement to our supporters as well. And so for that, I've apologized. And as I said, I think Ben is a remarkable person, and he has been fighting for principles and values that we need to get back to. And so I'm sorry if our passing on that CNN news story caused him and his campaign discomfort.
And fair to say you were angry about the way that played out, Senator?
Well, look, I was disappointed that an impression had been left that was incomplete. It was based on public news reports, and so some of the media folks who want to use it to impugn integrity are deliberately using it in a misleading way, because passing on the stories that the media reports.
Right. Okay, got another cell phone glitch in the rural roads and highways and byways of New Hampshire. Senator? This is the kind of day I'm having, and if I ordinarily didn't have a 101.5 degree fever, and again, we're keeping track of the 0.5. That's a very important part of my fever. It would be easier. But why would I get to have an easy phone interview with the guy who won the Iowa caucus on a day that I'm got this crappy bronchitis situation going on? So we'll try to reestablish with Senator Cruz. I want you to hear a little bit of the pushback last night. Again, Ben Carson on with Bill O'Reilly, very angry about what he claimed to be dirty tricks in Iowa. Cut number 5. This is from Fox News and the O'Reilly Factor.
Well, I talked to Ted Cruz earlier today, and he says that he didn't know anything about what the campaign did in terms of contacting precincts, telling people that I was dropping out, that a vote for me was a wasted vote. You know, my wife spoke at one of the caucus locations, and a Cruz person before her had told everybody that I wasn't going to be in the race and that they should reconsider their vote.
But his campaign still ran with false information that helped them, no doubt. But the information, it looks like, came from CNN. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but Bill, here's the issue. A culture exists within the Cruz camp that would allow people to take advantage of a situation like this in a very dishonest way. Isn't this the same thing we see with the Obama administration, the IRS scandal? No responsibility. Let's see what, in fact, the Cruz campaign will do about those individuals who inappropriately disseminated this information, knowing that the caucuses were not over. They were awfully anxious to get it out there, weren't they?
Well, and so I wanted to ask Senator Cruz before the cell phone drop, and according to, I think we got him back now. Let's try. Senator Cruz, we got you back again, sir?
It is good to be back. The joys of cell coverage. Although I think at this point it may be the Obama NSA trying to interrupt this interview.
I think it is. I think the NSA has infiltrated the Cruz campaign bus, and they've got some glitches going on and some gremlins. I want to address, I played the audio clip where Ben Carson asked last night on Fox if you were going to reprimand or how you will treat those individuals who may have perpetuated a false rumor. Do you plan on any disciplinary action for the people who may have been involved in that?
Well, you know, I don't make it a practice to discipline people for passing on public news reports. And
right.
the news turned out to be accurate. He did indeed return to Florida, and that was news that the voters were interested in.
Right.
And so our campaign has worked incredibly hard. People have made sacrificial investments in this campaign and have left have been away from their families, have made huge financial sacrifices, both volunteers and paid staff, and they are fighting to save this country. I know Ben's team is doing the same thing, and I don't make a practice of scapegoating staff members when it's politically convenient. I don't think that is the right or principled thing to do. We have a team who is passionate about turning this country around, and I am grateful that they have come together to be part of this movement.
I know you've heard